We have this video here from Try that is called PoE 326 League Starters, the brutal truth behind picking your starter build. Let's see what he has to say about it. My starter build is already picked because the roulette decided for me, and the roulette gave me the Chieftain. And I am going to go right to Fire Chieftain. But I want to see what Try has to say in here. Let's go.
Before questioning Path of Exile League Start builds, you need to question yourself. Especially if you're a brand new Path of Exile 1 player, you really need to be wary here. Because if you make the wrong choice and you're unaware of why it's the wrong choice when it comes to your first playthrough of Path of Exile 1, you might end up hating an amazing game. This video is going to be a concise, necessary one, and hopefully it will be timeless, much like Flicker Strike and its eternal reign under Mage Fist's careful watch. There are a bunch of builds in Path of Exile 1, especially on League Start, and many are highlighted by numerous content creators. Without fail, there's always bickering over which ones are mid, which ones are trash, and which ones will be advertised as optimal for everyone, but are actually...
And this is completely true. We just saw the drama unfold. There was big drama talking about League Starters. So this is completely true. Dude, over 60% of you are not subscribed. Why? Why are you like this? Just click the sub button, my dude. It is quick, it is easy, it is free. You get content, I get a sub, win-win situation. Just click the sub button, my dude.
Only optimal for the top 0.1% of the entire player base. Almost all of the nitpicking and debate is irrelevant for most Path of Exile 1
True.
players. As someone who doesn't make builds for others to play for the most part, as someone who just wings it on League Start, at least right now, and crafts a character as organically as you can in Path of Exile 1 and just has fun, I need to tell you, you can ignore most of the drama regarding League Start if you have the will to, and instead begin and end the entire debate by questioning yourself. First, what build looks and sounds fun? And second, what are my goals in this Path of Exile 1 league?
That is one of the most important questions that you can ask. What are your goals in the league? My goals, for example, in PoE 2 is always clearing the pinnacle content. So I am going into the PoE 1 league having the goal to clear the pinnacle content. Since it is my very first league and I am not that good at the game, I don't know if I will achieve it, but I will for sure try it. My goal is clearing the pinnacle content. I have said people say that there are 7 or 9 Uber bosses. Well, my goal is clearing that shit, right? That is the simulacrum, the other thing, and the other thing, clearing the pinnacle content. That is my goal. But different people have different goals, right? So having your goal set up will improve how you approach the game and have more fun.
I delve into some actual real and true Path of Exile examples, let me draw this basic analogy. Almost everyone knows what a car is, right? Well, there's a lot of argument over which car is best, even though all the ones that make it to the actual sales floor basically accomplish the same goal, right? They get the job done. They allow you to travel from point A to point B far easier than taking a horse-drawn carriage. However, depending on what you would like out of the car, you might decide to buy a certain model and brand. If you're constantly driving long distances and need something fuel efficient, get a Toyota Camry. If you almost never drive and would like a low maintenance, long lasting car, grab a Honda Civic. If you yearn for a stylish luxury vehicle that reeks of I am wealthy, nab a Porsche. If you have a wife, 2 kids, and are on your way to having a third, you probably want a safe, affordable 3-row car like a Honda Pilot. Again, however, all these cars will get the basic job of driving done, and even though all of them excel in those particular
This is a good analogy.
tasks,
I like it.
there will still be debate about which is best. This is essentially the case for almost all the builds you see showcased by creators in the Path of Exile 1 community.
This happens a lot with tier lists too, and not only in Path of Exile, in any game that has tier lists. It happens a lot in WoW. When you look for a tier list in WoW, they say, no, we put in D tier Survival Hunter. Survival Hunter is my main in WoW and I love it. And it is always low in the tier list. But it doesn't mean that it can't do the content. Every class, every spec can do the content. It is just minutia that changes between them that makes it maybe a little bit easier or maybe a little bit more enjoyable or whatever the fuck. other stuff that changes, but it doesn't mean that all of them don't get the job done. All of them get the job done. But then people think that if you put something in A tier in the tier list and then put something in the D tier, then they think that A is godly and D is dog shit. And the gap is much closer than that, dude.
League start. These builds are your basic car. Many will get the job of beating the campaign and likely getting 2 red tier maps done eventually, but many are aimed at players who desire certain feels and goals. Some builds might aim to beat the first 2 pinnacle bosses in 8 hours or less. Other league starters may prioritize smooth progression without relying on any trade. Some character builds focus on blasting to the end game as fast as possible, then farming a certain mechanic to build currency before anyone else can. A chunk of league starters might be trying new or buffed skills and passives, while a set of others might be relying on historically safe progression paths. Almost all, and I do mean all, of the league starters you see will be able to slam the campaign, progress through white, yellow, and into red maps, and yes, beat pinnacle bosses. However, the mentality many vocal players in Path of Exile currently have is the ability to do all this fast. And by fast, I mean in less than 24 hours of playtime, sometimes much, much less than that, around 6 hours.
That is for the ultra users, mega swellers, biggest nerds, dude. For normal people, it doesn't have to be like that, dude. Chill, have fun.
My point is, if you aren't crafting...
I know that for some people, going fast is the fun, but it doesn't have to be like that for everyone. And then when you say these are the builds that can do it and then you fuck up the perspective for everybody.
A build yourself, which even as a first-time player I think you should do and try, then you should try to figure out what you would like out of the game and a character before leaping on any particular build. Lots of builds focus on certain parts of the game and will end up feeling bad until they reach where they're destined to go or get a certain item that might be nigh unobtainable for almost everyone on a league start, while others will feel pretty smooth throughout with no huge power spikes, instead opting for consistent, smooth power. It's all a matter of preference. There's a large set of viable builds in Path of Exile 1 with numerous subsets that are optimal for distinct farming strategies, progression goals, and player types. Don't be captured by what someone tells you to think about a build or how you should play the game. Ponder a bit about your own goals and desires and go from there. Do you want to speed through the game and try to beat it as fast as possible on league launch?
And he's doing blind. Blind is fucking based.
Want to get all 40 challenges as quickly as possible? Do you just want to play slowly through the game and solo self-found over the course of 3 months? Do you want to farm the Forbidden Sanctum for currency? Do you just want
fuck Sanctum and Sekemas? All my homies hate Sanctum and the Sekemas.
To play something you've never touched before? Do you want to play an Inquisitor bonking people with a staff in melee with a Trarthus heavy strike gem? Seriously, you might be surprised at all the cool builds you find and the greater fun you have when you finally figure out what you would like to get from playing Path of Exile. I'm linking a bunch of league starter builds in the description below, with notes on what they excel at, from being a solid all-around beginner build to prioritizing finishing the campaign and base endgame as fast as possible. Shout out to all the creators crafting builds for those who don't want to make and post them. It's quite the foreboding task. And don't you forget, like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching as always. Have fun and stay sane.
Brother, one technique that I use in PoE2 to great success to find cool builds that I wanted to play that sometimes are, and most of the time, are not showcased on YouTube by content creators is going to PoE Ninja. You can find a bunch of cool deals by going to PoE Ninja. Again, I did this for PoE2, but I have to think that the same happens in PoE1. You can look in here specific stuff that you would like to try but don't know exactly how to go about it. And in PoE Ninja, there will be people doing it, and that way you can even find more builds that are not being normally discussed that you can... There is a lot of ways you can tackle the game, basically. But yes, I agree. Let me see what is the build. This one. I agree completely with what Try is saying in here. based video try, dude. Thank you so much for the video. It was really fucking cool. What do you guys think? Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I a clown? Am I a genius? Let me know everything in the comments below. I love reading comments even when they don't agree with me. Also remember to like the video, to subscribe to the channel, all that cool stuff. Guys, thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. God bless you. And remember, don't be afraid ever, because this is just a ride.